Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user In The Right Place 22. I need to break up 29 male with the love of my life 27 female after 10 plus years and I don't know where to start. I just left her parents' place knowing it was probably the last time I'd see them for quite a long time. I'm in shambles and really need to write something down. It's going to be long. So just to shorten it up, I need to break up with who has been the love of my life, my first girlfriend at 15, with whom we've had many ups and downs, broke up at 18 when we were too young and crazy, found ourselves again a couple of times during the years, and now living together for about 4 years. Background story. We both suffer from depression for different reasons altogether. Me, addiction struggles, hers, crappy upbringing with no father and a very traumatic experience when she was young involving her best friend. We both managed to pull ourselves up from the gutter so many times and we have had a fairly functioning life together up until now. We moved together to a big city after I got a job at a major company, bringing in some good money that would have allowed us to live in our own place and have her take a uni bachelor's, which she was just smashing, really high marks and all. For someone with a massively low self-esteem, she was just nailing it and really good. Enter the fact that she felt like she owed me too much money, and we both agreed on her taking up a part-time job to cover some home expenses. The end goal was still for her to complete her bachelor's and see where to go from there. Unfortunately, after looking for a job for a couple of months, she ended up going back to her former work. It asked a fast food joint with low pay and high working times. I wasn't really happy about it. The contract was utter BS, where they didn't recognize her former time spent at a franchise shop and had to start from the entry-level position. But she seemed like she needed it, and who am I to say no to more cash coming in the house? 2 years later, she left the uni and is in a managerial position at the fast food restaurant, working extremely long hours and poor turns. Midnight shifts, 13-hour long at times, for one of the lowest wages you can legally get in this country. It saddens me and hurts me, but what can you do? She seems to be adamant about staying there and doing the work, hoping for a fast rise to the director's spot. We barely see each other, as she works on most weekends and I work a 9-to-5 job. Most of the time, when I get back home, she's off for her midnight shift, and when I wake up, she just went to bed. Plus, she's being eaten alive by stress. She lost so much weight, her sleep cycle is completely effed, and she has no energy to do anything else. Yet, she works like hell. She barely has any sexual energy left, and trust me, she had. Does nothing around the house and is just miserable. She feels lonely as I do, and last year I discovered she was straight flirting up with a colleague. I began scavenging her phone at any given time she wasn't paying attention, and the worst message I found was dated to a time we were on holiday together, and she wrote him, "I wish I could be with you now." That hurt a lot. I confronted her and she plainly stated that she was just flirting with him because she was lonely. He was the only person interested in her and was using her sexuality to keep him at bay. What? I ate it all up as I felt the same. Incredibly lonely. Since we moved into this new town together, I barely made any friends in the new city and I could totally feel her pain. We both opened up on this and it was quite important. I ended up saying to her that I would have been okay with her seeing someone else on the side and having an open relationship if she felt like it was something she needed, and she just had to be straight with me. She said, "Absolutely not." That she didn't need any of that, and that I was stupid to even propose it. Just to be clear, I haven't been a saint myself. After this, I ended up flirting with a girl and kissing her, just to be even with my girlfriend. Yes, I know it was stupid. I don't even have the proof that they had a physical relationship going on, and I cut it off straight away with regrets and all. Unfortunately, the mutual trust was broken up, and I got obsessed with checking her phone whenever I could. It became like a stupid game for me. I had a rush every time I planned on how to check it, and needless to say, most times I didn't find anything. I'm also confident she knew I was checking it. I don't even know what I was looking for. Again, there are no saints in this story, only two really broken up people. I ended up stopping it all together when I said that it was ridiculous and that if I really wanted the relationship to keep going, I had to trust her unconditionally from now on. This happened 5 months ago or so. Fast forward to now. Yesterday, we went out for a small holiday and by mistake she left her phone in the toilet, where I logged myself in as I generally do when I go to the bathroom. I hadn't checked her phone for months, but I couldn't resist. She kept asking me to open up the toilet and I understood she was afraid I'd check her phone, and so I did. And this is where everything goes to crap. Turns out her friend she's been really close with and that she told me about whenever she was off work is a guy, and since I haven't really controlled her in a while, she slacked off this time and didn't delete some really bad messages. One exchange had this specific sentence filled with hearts where she said he could do anything to her and to come up with some good ideas when they would have had some time after work. There were more I miss yous that she said to him in a week that she had said to me in a year. Now, I'm here getting that not only did she lie to me plain and straight again for the second time, but that this time it is indeed physical and that there is no turning back from this. I don't want to confront her on this as I don't want to give her the possibility to spin it right back at me, and I'm terrified of any stupid crap she could do, from self-harm to pregnancy scares, and she has done it all in the past when we were 18. And I would like to end this in the most mature way I can, without giving it off that I spied on her again and that she effed up covering her tracks. Our love has gone dwindling down since all of the above. Trust is at a historical low, and me just admitting I don't love her anymore should just end up sealing the deal. But we live together and I'm afraid of the repercussions. Plus, she's really good with words, and if she tries to win me back with promises, I won't be able to keep the facade up and I'll have to admit I know about her affair. That would be such a crap way to close this all. I know it sounds all bleak on the above, but that's just the ugly bit of the relationship. We loved each other so much, have so many memories together. We were there for each other in the worst of times to hold ourselves up, and our families are close now. It would be such a crap show to end this with a big fight. What would you do? Would you be honest with someone who has not been honest with you in a long time? Or would you just cover it up and hope she doesn't do anything crazy? I'm thinking of waiting till the end of the month when she has finished taking her birth control pills for the month so that she doesn't stop getting a pregnancy or anything that's stupid to salvage the relationship. Am I overthinking it? Anything would help. Thanks to anybody who will read this mess. Wow, Willoughby, first of all, yes, I absolutely agree with you. This is a mess. And the breakup part obviously doesn't sound like it's gonna be easy considering the way that you say she could act. But you're absolutely right, you need to break up with her. She cheated, that's the end of the relationship. So here's what I think you should do. First of all, you don't sleep with her again, like at any moment, regardless of what she says or what's going on. You just don't. You may be tired or you have a headache, whatever, you just don't do it. Second, change all your passwords to everything, particularly your banking, just to be on the really safe side of things. Finally, I would prepare the breakup and tell her parents because she's gonna need somebody to hold her considering she's so volatile. What she did to you is absolutely crappy, and what you did to her was also crappy. One doesn't justify the other or vice versa. The thing is, you guys don't belong together, the breakup must happen, and before you get into any other relationship, you need to do some work to get over this whole mess of 10 years. And what do you guys think about this situation? How would you manage the breakup? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Pegas Loot says, dude, you might have made some stupid mistakes along the way, but it sounds like you've come a long way from when you first met her. You have your place, you earned good money, you can practically plan and leave for good. It sounds to me like things haven't been going good for a while, and that she has basically led you on for quite some time because of your ability to support her, which she has took advantage of. She's probably going to do the same with that other guy. Start looking for a new place, get your stuff ready and leave, and most importantly, cut any contact with her. She sounds incredibly emotionally manipulative. You're 29. Don't let your best years go to waste. There is someone for everyone. I don't think it's right to call her the love of your life after the things she did to you and you did back in spite. And OP responds, I'm also in the best shape of my life. I kicked depression out and I'm fairly confident I can be able to not fall in the addiction pit on my own. I don't think even moving to a smaller flat would be that bad, considering I have a fairly minimalistic lifestyle and I don't need much space for my hobbies. She is emotionally manipulative. That's why everyone that gets to know her loves her so much at the beginning. That's what is effed up the most about this. She lies to herself so much, it just makes me so sad to see someone treating themselves like this. Why does she do it? Ribshack says, you need to stop being each other's savior. It sounds like a very codependent relationship. Hopefully, she is getting therapy for her issues. You can still love her and choose to end being with her. Maybe it's time you grow on your own. Let her go. Maybe it's time. Bedtime Shine says, I don't feel sorry for you. She crossed a line early on and you served zero consequences and had to do no work to make no changes to earn you back. You nipped nothing in the bud, and now you're here. Additional information from OP's comments. Part of me would like to keep it as mature as it can be. For example, having her live in our place for the 3 months I need to give our landlord as a notice. The thing that scares me the most is probably the limiting contact and living situation in the short term. It's going to be complex, and while I could kick her out of our place, it would be the opposite of a pleasant situation. I know I should be living in the here and now, and that's why I'm ready to do it. Alright, well, the community agrees that this relationship needs to end, and OP got a little bit of sympathy and some people who were just not sympathetic at all, which is understandable, of course, given the whole mess of a situation. And OP is thinking of a way to not make it blow up. Anyways, let's move on to the update to see what happened next and how the story ends. But of course, before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now let's move on with that update. After finding out she was cheating on me by a message on her phone, I decided over the weekend to close the relationship. Unfortunately, I had this nagging feeling there was something more I needed to understand, and I stupidly decided to hack into her old phone she changed a month ago to find out more about her lover and what she was doing. I know, not the brightest idea. I couldn't believe the absolute crap show of a Pandora's box that I opened. Practically, she had multiple lovers over the years, and the story of her life did not include me at all. She told them she studied at X, worked at Y, and lived in country Z. All things I did, not her. Her life with her lovers was my life story. She even ended up telling them that her grandmother died during the holidays, while it was mine. Needless to say, I got massively scared. How can you know how someone with an evident personality disorder can react to a breakup when confronted with this? I even ended up meeting one of her exes, which confirmed that according to what she said to him, I lived on the other side of the world and paid her rent to keep her here, that I was really emotionally abusive and unsupportive, etc. Needless to say, we were both shocked as hell. He had no idea and was also suffering from depression. I think he got it worse than me. So I broke up with her, not mentioning any of the things above, until we discovered that her last fling was a married man living with people who may either be drug dealers or have serious drug issues. I called her parents and I had them come over for an intervention. She needs help and fast. When confronted on this, she absolutely went mad and even threatened to end me. She denied everything, even when we had full proof of her lies. After her mother arrived, she calmed the F down, and after 20 minutes of them talking, her mother ended up telling me that I was overreacting. What? And that she just told me some lies to not tell me she was seeing someone else, that this stuff happens and that she's mentally fine and has no issues. And now we know where she got it from. After her parents went away, she finally opened up and admitted most, if not all, still without admitting she had a relationship with any of these guys, like as if she had no clear memory of them. She admitted she has massive mental problems she needs to sort out, and hopefully she'll get someone to help along the way. She just made her luggage and left our home. It's quite expensive for her to keep this home, and we agreed she should look for something else as soon as possible while I end up paying for the rent for this place. However, I don't fully trust her, and I'm looking for a place to move right now. I'll lose some money out of this, but at least I can start a new life as soon as possible. I think she has a borderline personality disorder or something, undiagnosed, since her family is clueless about these things and acts as if everything that happened is just normal breakup stuff. I can't believe it took me 10 years to realize this. I don't know what the F she did in all these years, and I think I don't want to know and move on with my life. OP's quick update. I got tested for HIV and thank F I'm negative. I had to wait a month to have some time from the last time we had sex, which is now a month and a half ago. My doctor said that unless I'd have seen symptoms of other STDs popping up, I shouldn't do tests or anything, also because apparently generic tests do not exist and you have to do specific ones. I also got back into the dating game, and although I still feel in a mood roller coaster, I think I can do it. Finally, she's moving out in a week, although we haven't seen each other in a month now, and she came to my place only to pick up stuff when I wasn't there. She also took her cat, and that's probably the saddest thing out of the whole ordeal right now. I miss him a lot. Anyway, the house is under my name, and I want to move as I don't trust her moving out. She swore she was seeing 3 apartments. Still, the worst thing that could happen is that I just moved temporarily to my parents' place and worked from home. I guess the writings were on the wall and I ignored them. Wow, OP, you feel like you're in a mood roller coaster? Dude, that was a roller coaster for everybody who went through this story with you. It's a good thing you got out, although I have to say, I don't know if it's the best thing to start dating someone right away. Maybe give yourself a little bit of time for everything to settle down, but that's your decision. In any case, good for you for getting out of that relationship, and now it's time to move on. So here's wishing you the best in the future, and thanks for sharing, OP. Take care. Now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Irritating Farquhar. So, you're claiming I defrauded the company by booking an extra 3 minutes? No problem. I worked for a water company for 25 years and was one of their most productive repair crews. That is, until the new manager started. Let's call him Mr. Numbnuts. We had a monthly rota where you were on call for 1 week in 4, for emergency repairs out of hours. On the day in question, I started work at 7:30 a.m. on a Friday and finished work at 3:15 a.m. Saturday morning. So a pretty long-ass shift. I get to work Tuesday morning and get called into the office by Mr. Numbnuts and informed that according to my vehicle tracker, I'd left the yard at 3:12 a.m. and not 3:15 a.m., which is an attempt to defraud the company. As you can imagine, I was absolutely fuming at this level of BS. I told him that. At the time, I was covered in mud and sweat and just wanted to get home after completing a monster shift for the company, and was he genuinely making a crapstorm over 3 minutes? He said he was making me aware that I could be fired for it. Cue malicious compliance. I said that if we're going to be this petty, you can take me off the emergency contact list for extra coverage, and I won't be starting 20 minutes early each day either. I'll now be clocking in at exactly 7:30 a.m. and I shall be heading out at exactly 5:30 p.m. with no deviation whatsoever, and you can explain to your bosses why productivity is down and you're struggling to get coverage for emergencies. We'll see then how important your 3 minutes are when they are costing the company money. Little did I realize at the time, but the guy's job was bonus related and linked to our productivity, which tanked after that because all the other gangs followed my lead, except the brown-nosed gangs, obviously. 3 weeks go by with an absolute crap show in customer service complaints about their work not being carried out in a timely manner. My productivity dropped from 7 jobs per day down to 4, and Mr. Numbnuts gets called in by his bosses to try and explain what the F is going on. He tried to spin some BS story that I'd turn all the guys against him for no reason and that this was the result. Little did he know that I'd actually trained his boss when he first started with the company 15 years before and wanted to come out and find out what we do and experience how hard the job is. He surprised me by working a full month on the repair crews before going back to the office. Anyhow, the boss called me in to find out what was really going on, so I explained how he'd used the tracker to monitor what time I'd left the yard and that I guesstimated my finish time and overestimated by 3 minutes because I was absolutely knackered after working a shift from hell on call. In conclusion, the manager was let go for misuse of the tracking system as it's only supposed to be used for emergencies and not monitoring, and we had an on-call system reviewed to cut the hours we were having to work. Ah, man, what an idiot. All of this for 3 minutes. Some people just shouldn't be in managerial positions. Thanks for sharing, OP, and glad you corrected it. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.